It's Cofield and Company.
We're just basically sitting around. I try to drink 10 beers in an hour, get annihilated, curse a lot.
Good Lord, Cofield. You have eaten your share of hot dogs in your life, have you not?
I'm an American. I don't want to be muzzled.
It's time for Cofield and Company with Steve Cofield on ESPN Las Vegas.
We're here a little bit early, 8 o'clock tip. We'll be cutting out at 6 o'clock, and you'll get Runnin' Rebel warm-up at 7:30 before the Rebels take on Fresno in a key game as they try to close the season strong. They've got 4 games left now, not 2. Originally, beginning of the week, we're like, hey, Fresno twice, and then you go to the tournament. You get a little break before the tournament, collect yourselves, but not the case, Candy. They added 2 games to the schedule.
The TV money talks, right, Cofield? Like, in the end, that's what the conference said, that they wanted to fulfill their TV contracts, and that came, according to Mark Ziegler of the San Diego Union Tribune, over the objection of multiple coaches in the league who looked at it and said, why are we playing these games? They don't really make any difference in the long run, but they were overruled.
Battleborn Injury Lawyers presents the Big Five at 5. Number 5.
Adam Candy's alongside here at the Thomas and Mack. Cofield back in our Findlay Toyota studios. It's Ari.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Yeah, we're rolling live video right now. If you want to comment, you can do that up at Steve Cofield, up at ESPN Las Vegas, at LV Sports Network. Also rolling on YouTube and ESPN Las Vegas Facebook. We try to do this at least once or twice a show. So chime in. It's your way to get some comments into Cofield and Company here on a Wednesday. Candy hasn't been in a while. We didn't get to talk about what happened on Saturday with the first game in Tahoe. Boy, oh boy, that was a bad break for the NHL. Or do we want to slam Gar for the weather issues? Because, man, I actually felt bad for him as he was stumbling and bumbling after like an hour delay and having to pop up on NBC with Tirico to explain the disastrous situation.
To say that you felt badly for Gary Bettman, something must have really triggered in you, because that's not something we hear many people say very often, is that they have a soft spot for something that happened to Gary Bettman. But yeah, here we were with that game being put on pause and resumed 9 hours later, Cofield. And if you felt badly for Gary Bettman watching him stumble around, you'll probably feel even worse hearing this. The NHL had in the range of 1.4 million viewers tuned into the Tahoe game to see that beautiful scenery and that great display of hockey between 2 of the best teams in the league. And then 9 hours later, when the game moved from NBC to NBC Sports Network and picked up again at midnight Eastern, they had under 400,000 viewers left tuned in. So their TV showcase turned out to be a complete dud.
What should they do moving forward? I mean, this is just the perils of, I think this is what, like the 29th and 30th game they've done outside, 28, 29, something like that, and they hadn't had issues in the past.
Thing is, they're never going to allow this game to go off in a location that would be so unfriendly to fans again, because this was done as a one-off, I believe, because there could be no fans. You pick an environment that is beautiful, but yet would otherwise be something that would be restrictive not only for your teams, but for your money, because then you don't have as many people as normally attend these games. You can have up to 100,000 people if you play it in a football stadium who are willing to sit all the way up in God's country when they can't even see the puck to watch these games. So I don't know if this will be a problem again.
Number 4.
A lot of unknowns with the Vegas Golden Knights and these tickets after this month. So they made tickets available. They can only have 2,600 people into the arena. By the way, tomorrow's game on the road against San Jose canceled. Looks like the Saturday game against Anaheim is good to go. But Saturday, check that, Thursday canceled because of Tomas Hertl having COVID issues on the Sharks, and they're like, we can't do this. So, but for the games at home, 2,600 season ticket holders got a chance this morning to scoop up tickets. We heard some stories earlier about, hey, a 4-pack of tickets costing someone about $925. These are going to be expensive tickets. I don't know how you can get angry at VGK. They're presented with a situation unlike we've ever seen in the history of modern sports. We talked to Justin Watkins earlier, and Justin was on with us for about 35 minutes, and I completely forgot that Justin was a season ticket holder. So during the break, once he was done, I actually jumped on there and we grabbed this clip from him as I was discussing what his experience was like this morning. He's a season ticket holder. He's our ESPN Las Vegas legal insider, and he wanted tickets.
Well, so I'm a season ticket holder that rolled over, right? I didn't ask for my cash back.
Right.
So if you let it roll, then you're on the first. They said this at the time, that if they do allow fans in, that the money you rolled over can be used as a bank to pay for any tickets that happen in this year. And if you elect to roll over, then you're eligible.
The case moving forward, do you know you basically get dibs for one game a month?
No, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they purposely only did through March because they expect it to change to 25 or 30 or 45% capacity. And if it gets to those higher numbers, then maybe 30% capacity. Well, then I get to go once every 3 games, right? Instead of once every 8 games.
And you're okay with all this?
What's not to be okay about? I mean, it's not like the Golden Knights aren't trying. They're trying, right? I mean, Foley tried to get 25%, and Southern Nevada Health District said 15%. So, okay. Price was I think it was up from what the normal price is. I got basically my same tickets. I'm like 2 rows back from where I normally am. Same seats as normal. And they normally go, I think it's like $270 a piece. And these were like $380, but I might be wrong on the price. So they were $380 a pop. I get it too, man. They're going to lose money on 15%.
I don't think a lot of people want to hear that, Candy. But the tickets are going to be high priced, and the Knights are going to do what they can to make some of the money. But this is not some break the bank situation for them.
Yeah, and I hear the part about how the Golden Knights and other teams are losing money, and it's a business. Nothing can change there. But in the end, it's a team that is owned by a billionaire that laid off employees at one point during the pandemic, or I should say not laid off, furloughed employees during the pandemic. And so it's not like they've earned some sort of goodwill where people are required to feel badly for them in the situation. That said, we talked earlier about a family of 4 paying more than $900 to go to the game. That's not unusual. I mean, Golden Knights tickets are expensive in the first place. The quiet as it's kept about the NHL is that NHL tickets everywhere are expensive. This is not a cheap sport to attend unless you're going to a Sunbelt market where teams aren't doing well. You can get in a lot easier in some of these places now. But according to SeatGeek, 2019-20, the average ticket price for T-Mobile Arena, $154 a seat. So it's not like it's that big of a difference for what we're talking about right now.
Number 3.
Boy, it is a league that does not mess around. They have no issue shuffling coaches in and out. Most coaches don't last more than just a couple of years. What is going on? Was it the Canadians? That's enough?
This was an unbelievable story to me, Cofield. And I know I probably shouldn't be surprised at this point, but the NHL will flip a coach on his head in a heartbeat. And Vegas Golden Knights fans obviously know it well with the way Gerard Gallant was let go after a short losing streak during last season. So, yeah, Claude Julien, after losing 6 out of 8 games, 2-6 over an 8-game stretch. Now, 2 of those losses were to the Ottawa Senators, the worst team in the division. But Claude Julien found himself out. And that had been a team that went through a major overhaul in the offseason, brought in a lot more talent. We know that Suzuki is up there from the Golden Knights organization, who went over there in the Max Pacioretty trade. And look, they've been one of the best teams in the league. They are comfortably in the playoffs right now. And they blew out their coach today after he lost 6 out of 8 games. I was just stunned by this. But you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be, because my own team that I follow, the New Jersey Devils, did a similar thing. In 2000, when Robbie Fatorik, who had the team in first place, hit a little skid, a little 4 or 5 game losing streak, they fired him midseason with his team in first place. And Larry Robinson ended up taking them all the way to the Stanley Cup. So I think the NHL is particularly brutal when it comes to head coaches.
Number 2.
Rebels playing tonight. And it's so weird. There was such a big gap in the middle of the season. I felt like the season never got started, and we're already at the end of the season. Now they've got 4 games left. Tonight, Friday, against Fresno State. That was originally the end of the season. Now they've added, the Mountain West Conference has, upwards of 10-plus games. Now they've already had one of those rescheduled games canceled. Reno and San Jose State canceled. The previously planned San Jose State and Wyoming canceled. So San Jose State has COVID issues. So now the Rebels have San Diego State next week. They close out the season on the road against Wyoming. But first up is Fresno. What do you think the immediate goal should be for these next couple of games, aside from just winning them? They need wins. They're 7-7 right now in conference.
The goal for these next couple of games for UNLV, yes, the obvious is wins, needs to be flow offensively. They need to find something that looks like a rhythm at that end of the floor, because what we've seen for a second consecutive year is that TJ Otzelberger can figure out a way for his team to grind it out defensively and play against the style he normally would, not up tempo, but they are a team that on that end of the floor can get the job done. But right now, when you look at them at the offensive end, they are just a team without any sense of consistency. They have one of the slowest offenses in the Mountain West. They're 10th in the Mountain West in terms of average possession length. They're 8th in the Mountain West in effective field goal percentage. So that's basically all your shots factoring in three-pointers. And they don't get to the line at all. They are by far the worst team in the conference, and they are about to set a program record for getting to the line the least. So what I need to see is it needs to not feel so hard on offense for this team.
Yeah, it's amazing. The free throws, I've been talking about that all year, and especially I still don't get it with Bryce Hamilton, who is mostly crashing to the basket and drawing contact and trying to shoot within 10 feet. So I don't know. He hasn't gotten a lot of calls. And beyond that, guys simply don't attack, and they're not a team that throws into the post. Although I did you tell me, maybe you're on the opposite side of this because it means actually slowing down. But I think by slowing down and feeding the post more, there's more ball movement. Devin Tillis has become this intriguing dude at 6'6" and a below-the-rim guy and not a leaper. Throwing the ball to him in the post, and he'll take a couple of dribbles, and he's kind of scanning the court. He's actually turned out to be a good option for inside-out basketball, and he's a smart guy, so more often than not, he's finding someone in a good spot. Particularly, David Jenkins has started going crazy from three.
Now, I see where it looks good for UNLV because you're used to Mbake Zhang being down there, and he's not an option as a passing post. So you throw Devin Tillis out there, but if you listen to TJ Otzelberger after the San Jose State series, he sounded like it was, you know what, let's try something, right? Let's just try throwing Devin Tillis down there and see if he can do this, because it's not a consistent offensive philosophy in 2021 to put a forward in the post and hope he finds somebody, because what comes with that is the idea that shot might go up sometimes. And we know from looking at many years of shots, and we're going to talk to our guest Ken Pomeroy about this in about 15 minutes, that post-up shot is one of the least efficient shots in basketball. So at some point, defenses are going to adjust to that and basically start saying to Devin Tillis, go ahead, take the shot.
Yeah, Jenkins, as I said, has been a beneficiary. He's 19 of 39 last 5 games from 3. So hopefully some other dudes can hit their open threes. My gosh, they got to get Caleb Grill and Moses Wood going from 3. Those guys have had open looks, and they had open looks against San Jose State. If they start hitting, then this team can really be damned. They got to defend. But if they're hitting threes, if they're getting threes from 3 different guys and a little bit of Blake here and there, be dangerous.
And that's, I think, something that is under-discussed about this program overall. I think David Jenkins catches a lot of crap because he was expected to come in here and be the same guy he was at South Dakota State. And if you look at his advanced metrics, pretty much all of them are the same from where he was at South Dakota State. It's just that I think everybody expected a guy who could create his own shot more than David Jenkins is able to. He's more of a spot-up shooter than he is a creator. But the games where UNLV has really looked the part have been games where either Caleb Grill or Moses Wood has been a solid, reliable third option